Hello everyone, today's chess puzzle. White's position. Pawn on b4.
Okay.
Pawn on a3, bishop on d3, knight on e3, pawn on b2, pawn on f2, pawn on g2, pawn on h2, rook on a1, queen on d1, king on e1, and rook on h1. Black's position is rook on b8, queen on d8, rook on f8, king on g8, pawn on h7, pawn on a6, knight on c6, pawn on d6, pawn on b5, pawn on e5, pawn on f5, pawn on h5, and bishop on e4. Let's get this going.
All right. So looking at the board, I think the white bishop on d3 is very important.
I see that. Why is that bishop so important?
Well, first of all, it controls this long diagonal, putting pressure on black's king side. If we think a few moves ahead, that could be a real problem for black.
I see. But black's bishop on e4 is also putting pressure on white.
Yeah, that's true. But take a look at the pawn structure. It's quite locked, which limits black's options for defending their king. See how those pawns on e5 and f5 are kind of stuck? They can't easily move to protect the king.
So you're saying this locked pawn structure is actually working against black in this scenario?
Yeah, exactly. It creates potential weaknesses that white can exploit. Now, we have to be careful. Black's queen is still a powerful piece, and we don't want to walk into any traps. But I think there might be a surprising move for white that takes advantage of this situation.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the solution to this puzzle?
The answer is white. Bishop d3 to e4, black. Pawn f5 to e4, white. Queen d1 to d5, black. King g8 to h8, white. Queen d5 to c6.
There you go. So white sacrifices their bishop to lure black's pawn forward.
Right.
That opens up the d5 square for white's queen, forcing the black king to retreat. And finally, the queen lands on c6, right in the heart of black's position.
Precisely. And even though it's not checkmate, white has gained a huge advantage. They control key squares, and black's king is scrambling for safety. This position is ripe for white to develop a strong attack and ultimately win the game.
Thank you for listening.